Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Vrindavana Shri Govinda Gopinatha Madana Mohana Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Radha Jaya Vrindavana Dham Vrindavana Dham Vrindavana Dham Jaya Vrindavana Dham Nitai Gaur Haribal 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 Nitai Gaur Haribal Nitai Gaur Nitai Gaur Haribal Nitai Gaur Haribal जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमती डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य बीबीटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी ठाकुर शिल प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य शिल हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिका श्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरिराज गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मथुरापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की गंगा मैया की यमुना मैया की भक्ति देवी की श्रीमती तुलसी महारानी की समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की श्री श्री गौर
Hare
निताई
Krishna.
की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्
Sound
भागवत
is not clear.
all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. The meaning of this song is all glories to Radha and Krishna and the divine forest of Vrindavan. All glories to the three presiding deities of Vrindavan, Shri Govinda, Gopinath and Madan Mohan. All glories to Shyamkund, Radhakund, Govardhan Hill and the Yamuna river, Kalindi. All glories to the great forest known as Mahavan, where Krishna and Balram displayed all of their childhood pastimes. All glories to Keshi Ghat, where Krishna killed the Keshi demon. All glories to the Vamshivat tree, where Krishna attracted all the gopis to come by playing his flute. Glories to all of the 12 forests of Raja. At these places, the son of Nanda, Shri Krishna, performed all of his pastimes. All glories to Krishna's divine father and mother, Nanda and Yashoda. All glories to the cowherd boys headed by Sridama, the older brother of Srimati Radharani and Ananga Manjari. All glories to the cows and calves of Vraja. All glories to Radha's divine father and mother Vrishabhanu and the beautiful Kirtida. All glories to Purnamasi, the mother of Sandipani Muni, grandmother of Mandhumangal and Nandimukhi, and beloved disciple of Devarshi Narad. All glories to the young cowherd maidens of Vraja. All glories to Gopishwar Shiva, who resides in Vrindavan in order to protect the holy Dham. All glories to Krishna's funny Brahman friend Madhumangal. All glories to Ram Ghat, where Lord Balram performed his Rasa dance. All glories to Lord Balram, the son of Rohini. All glories to all of the residents of Vrindavan. All glories to the wives of the proud Vedic Brahmins. All glories to the wives of the Kaliya serpent. Through pure devotion, they all obtained the lotus feet of Lord Govinda. All glories to the place where the Rasa dance of Sri Krishna was performed. All glories to Radha and Sham. All glories to the divine Rasa dance, which is the most beautiful of all Lord Krishna's pastimes. All glories to the mellow of conjugal love, which is the most excellent of all rasas and is propagated in Raja by Sri Krishna in the form of the divine Parakiya Bhav, paramour love. Remembering the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda's consort Sri Janvadevi, this very fallen and lowly servant of Krishna sings the Sankirtan of the holy name. Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। Welcome to our continuation on Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto as a part of Bhakti Vedanta course. Before we proceed with the remaining chapter, that is 35th chapter, some recollection from yesterday's discussion. Yes, take the mic, give him the mic. Padam Kanaguru, give him the mic behind.
How different acharyas they have mentioned different opinion for same thing. So you are telling that how Krishna is unlimited. Only on Krishna, on so many things we can speak.
Yes. Different aspects, different bhavs, they focus on. Any other?
Whenever demons they try to abuse Lord or criticize Lord, but that time there is another meaning to it which acharyas give very beautifully. That is a glorification. So every word is actually glorification of Lord.
Somebody said a few days back that every Sanskrit word has glorification only. Originally, that is how the language is. That is also there, but apart from that, every word, the origin is glorification of the Lord only. Yes. Behind, Sakshi Chitra.
So Krishna killed Chanur and the Balram killed Mystic. Later on, other wrestlers they started running towards them. And Balram himself managed to, with his elephant, kill them. Somewhere it mentioned it is what do you say, the another thing.
Mushal. Or otherwise the arrow. No, not arrow, the bow.
Wow. It's mentioned.
No, not bow, sorry, the Hastidanta, no? Hastidanta or wow?
Elephant husk.
Elephant husk.
Yes. So later on, Kamsa, when he starts chastising or defaming or blaspheming Vasudev and others, immediately Krishna is not able to tolerate it. He jumps so fast that nobody is able to understand he has jumped. And within a moment, he pulls him down and then jumps on him. That's it. So when we are reading it, we don't understand Kamsa is killed. Like Acharya
Nor did the people there understand.
They understood. And then Krishna is dragging him to show him that it's like he's gone.
Yes.
And then start specifying the wives of Kamsa, telling that I had to kill him. So
they also come to that point. That he said, no, Miss Prabhupada disciple said earlier that was a sentimental feeling, but then they came to practical wisdom. What was practical wisdom?
Kamsa that time.
Yeah. Yes. Any other? Online devotees, do you have something? Are you able to hear us? Are they able to hear? Or they are only wondering.
Yes, we were able to hear.
Yes, we can hear.
Yesterday you described about Krishna taking the Kamsa and how Krishna was dragging Kamsa and And you're mentioning that we think Kamsa is killed so easily because other demons were killed so fast. So mentioning that point, how Krishna is killing of Kamsa, that whole past time was doing.
Now, just now, Sakshi Chitru, he told the same point. Did you hear that?
Your voice was clear. Their voice is not that clear.
अच्छा, okay. He used mic also. ठीक है, anyway. Any other devotee online?
Yesterday you were saying, that Krishna, we know that Krishna is Swayam Bhagwan, and that the last part, I think we were discussing where it states that Krishna is one of the avatar. And so today's His Holiness Swami, he basically mentioned Narayan as the main avatari, and Krishna as a Paripurna avatar.
Ram, he said as
So
Purna Avatar, and
Ram
Krishna
is said as Purna avatar, yeah, and Krishna is said as Paripurna
Paripurna
avatar.
Avatar.
But he said avatar and Narayan to be avatari. So Sri Vaishnavas have that strong, tell me where it is written Krishna is Bhagwan, that type of thing. When I met some
Okay, but
Sri Vaishnavas,
we don't have to discuss that now. From our yesterday's class, some discussion.
yes, yeah.
Otherwise,
Hmm.
we will get into some other zone.
Hmm.
Bhagavad Gita Prabhu has point.
The ladies of Mathura, after seeing Krishna fighting with Chanur and Balram with mistake, they felt this assembly is religious.
Irreligious.
One should not enter into such an assembly. They become tended with sin. And then the king also watching, so people also following the king, famously watching. And when they speak like that, hearing that the father, the parents, Nanda and Vasudeva, they become numerous, worried, watching. Why did I bring these boys here? Necessarily, because parental affection, because parental affection, the concern about take of Krishna Balram.
Any other point? Okay. Then mainly the Sakshi Chitru. The last point. Then we will continue.
Kamsa, Krishna and Balram, both of them went and did not just touch, they put their head, Sparshantam.
First, who did?
Krishna did. And seeing Krishna doing, then Balram followed it. And then Devaki and Vasudeva, they were amazed seeing all those things because they were in jail. Lord has appeared and he has killed everything. So their mood was filled with awe and reverence compared to Nanda and Yashoda. Therefore, when they touched their feet, they were standing with awe and reverence, puzzled what to do. That is how
Yes. Okay, thank you. So we'll begin with 35th chapter, which was remaining. For whatever reasons it remained, we will venture into completing it. Krishna willing. So that is entitled The Gopis Sing of Krishna as he wanders in the forest, also called a Yugala Gita. So there are two verses coupled, so that's why it is Yugala. So two verses are there. Like that, 2nd to 25th, in all 24, that means 12 what you call pairs or whatever you call coupled verses, and first and last is like introductory and conclusion. So that's how the chapter is. This chapter contains the songs of the gopis sing to express their feelings of separation from Krishna when he goes to the forest during the day. So many things get covered, whole of Rajalila in one sense. It's very nice meditation in that sense. So the first verse, please repeat. Shri Shuka Uvacha गोप्यः कृष्णे वनं याते तम् अनुद्रुतचेतसः कृष्णलीलः प्रगायन्त्यो निन्युर्दुःखेन वासरान्. Shukdev Goswami said, whenever Krishna went to the forest, the minds of the gopis would run after him, and thus the young girls sadly spent their days singing of his pastimes. So, in the purport, proper disciples write, although the gopis enjoyed direct association with Krishna at night in the rasa dance, during the day he went about his normal duties, tending his cows in the forest. At that time, the minds of the gopis would run after him, but the young girls had to stay back in the village and do their own duties. Thus, feeling the pain of separation, they would sing about Sri Krishna's transcendental pastimes. Krishna Chandra Thakur in his commentary says, in this chapter, the gopis pinning in separation from Krishna means grieving or longing, spend their days remembering him by reciting 12 pairs of verses known as the Yugala Gita. The gopis' prem, in order to nourish itself, divided itself into two parts: the coolness of direct enjoyment with Krishna in the moonlight and the heat of separation from him in the daytime. Nighttime they were associated with him, and daytime they were separated, so it's like hitting. In one sense, daytime it's hot and nighttime it's cool, but only our acharyas can give such explanation that nighttime, because they were with Krishna, his direct association, it was a cool period for them, very relishable, what they call soothing period. Whereas daytime was like scorching because the heat of separation, not the heat of sun, heat of separation from Krishna in the daytime. The gopis spent their nights as previously described, directly associating with Krishna by singing and dancing, conversing, kissing, and relishing conjugal rasa. In the daytime, they could only associate with Krishna by thinking of him. Drinking the nectar of Krishna's flute song, the gopis became immersed in the rasa of separation. When Krishna went to the forest to herd the cows, the gopis' minds chased after him. Tam anudruta chetasaha. Chetasa is their mind. Anudruta, left behind, went behind. Tam, behind Krishna. So gopis are feeling a separation. And our acharyas have told, our Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya is famous for service in separation. Now this Vipralamba mood is more prominent than Sambhog mood, the union. And that's where they say in English, absence makes memory grow fonder. When absence is there of a person, then our memory grows fonder about him. When he is there, sometimes it may, okay, he's there, so no need to worry so much. But he's going or he has gone, so then we think a lot about him. How many of you experience? It is true in general. You might not have thought about it, but that's what happens. Especially for one whom we love. Those whom we don't love only. So then it's a different thing. Whether he's here or not there, different thing. But when we are in love with someone, his absence is felt very strongly. Absence makes memory grow fonder. That fond memories are there. Oh, yes. That was so nice. That day he said like this. We'll go to meet him again, or something like that. It's a very nice experience. So this is that mood. Our acharyas, Shad Goswamis, about them, the last line says, He Radhe Vraj Devike Chalalite, He Nanda Suno Kuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale, Kalindi Vanyai Kuta, Goshanta Viti Sarvato Vrajapure, Kheder Mahavivalo, Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghujugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. All the six Goswamis are none other than the Manjaris, the small girls of 6 age, assisting the gopis who are direct assistants to the divine couple Radha Krishna. So when they came here in the Sadhaka Sharira, as Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and Jiva Goswami, So about them, Srinivas Acharya, in Sada Goswami Ashtakam, last stanza, 8th stanza, he says, they are shouting all over, He Radhe, O Radharani, Raja Devike, Lalite, O Lalita, O Vishaka, O Nanda Shuno, the son of Nanda Maharaj, where are you? Are you there at the bank of Yamuna, or at the top of Govardhan hill, or at the foothill of Govardhan? Where are you? So not being able to find them, they are crying all over and running and shouting, Radha, Radhe, Lalite, Vishakhe. And this is what is heard all over. Mahavivhalo, with great, what you call Vivhal, Vivalta, mm, like kind of great distress, feeling so much separation. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? And Vrajavasis are hearing, hey, what is that? Who is crying? Oh, you don't know? That is Rupa Goswami. That is Sanatan. They are longing to have darshan of their lordships, of the divine couple. None of our acharyas said yesterday night they came in our dream. Krishna told me to smoke cigarette because my throat was going dry. So then I smoked a lot. It was nice. So our acharyas don't say all that. They say that we could not meet. Our Madhvendra Puri is the origin of that. He was saying that Ai Deen Dayadra Ai Deen Dayadra Nath hai Mathura Nath Kadav Lokya se Rudayam Todava Loka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomi Ham. So our feelings of separation begin from Madhvendra Puri only, who is Kalparuksha, the desire fulfilling tree in Golok Vrindavan, and who comes here as the Param Guru of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In our parampara, I am talking. So he is the one, because from that time only almost, otherwise Brahma Madhava Sampradaya goes on that side. The Brahma Madhava Gaudiya line is special. Madhvendra Puri is the one who established also Radharani's deities and Radharani worship, the divine couple together. Otherwise, till then, mainly Krishna was only worship. Radha Mahima was not known. That's why Mahaprabhu is glorified. Jati na hoito tabe ki hoito ke mone dhari tamde Radhar Mahima prema rasa sima jagata janata ke. Who in the know he who in the world wouldn't have known about the glories of Srimati Radharani, that conjugal rasa, Madhur, Brajesha, Brajera Madhuri. What is next line? Vipin Madhuri, Vipin Vrunda, Pravesha Chaturi Sa, Madhura Vrunda, Vipin Madhuri, Pravesha Chaturi Sa, Vrajera Yuvati, Bhavera Bhakati, Shakati, Hoito Khar. So these damsels of Vrindavan, Vraja Gopis, the way they worship Krishna, that's what is glorified also. That what is the beginning? That Tadhama Vrindavanam. Beginning is what? Aradhyo Bhagwan Vrajesh Tanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitopasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradharana Para. This is by Saraswati or Raghupati Upadhyay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked questions to somebody. He was answering one by one. And then ultimately this sloka was composed of all those question answers, all those answers. But who was he? Whosoever he was. Mostly one of the two. Or maybe third one. Whosoever. So he says, Aradhya Bhagwan Vrajeshatanes. Most worshipable Lord is the son of Nanda Maharaj. And most worshipable Dham is Tad Dham, his Dham, Vrindavanam. Ramya Kachit, and who is the most, which is the best worship of him? The way it was shown by Braja Gopis. Ramya Kachito Upasana Brajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. And what is the proof? Srimad Bhagavatam, Pramanam Amalam, spotless Puran. Prema Pumartha Mahan. What does it talk about? It talks about Pancham Purusha, not Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha. Beyond that all. Pancham Purusha, the fifth. Pumartho, Pum, Artho, or Purusha, Artha. Same, Pum is Purusha. So Pancham Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam. This is the opinion of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Tatradharan, and there is nothing superior to that. So very nicely verse is composed. So this is our aspiration, highest, nothing beyond that. Worshipping the divine couple. So Madhendra Puri in his last days he was saying, when Krishna goes for Vrindavan, goes to Mathura from Vrindavan. That we already discussed. He already was Mathura. We brought him back to Vrindavan. So going from Mathura to Vrindavan is relishable. Leaving Vrindavan, going to Mathura is heartbreaking, huh? Yeah, we came back. But this is beyond, before only. But very relishable. Now we are in our element, Vrindavan Dham. Mathura was, okay, more perfect Krishna. But here most perfect Krishna is there in Sri Vrindavan Dham, that we can relish here. So he says that Radharani is feeling that Ai Deena Dayadra Natha hai, Mathura Natha ka Daulat. Deena Dayadra. We are the destitute ones. We are the, what you call, we are not having your association. Because we have become Mathura Nath now. We are the master of Mathura. Ai Deena Dayadra Natha hai, Mathura Natha Kadava Lokka. When will I be able to see you? Hridayam Todavaloka Kataram Daita Brahmyati Kim Karomi. Not being able to perceive you, see you in my heart. And I am only wondering and crying. I don't know what to do. Kim karomi aham. What should I do? So this is our mood, feeling of separation. And this mood is experienced to the degree we intensely serve the instruction of our spiritual master. The spiritual master is in that mood of Vipralambar Bhav. After 25 years of Prabhupada departure were over, I think 77 plus 25, 2002. So in Juhu they had arranged one program called Service in Separation. 25 years are over ever since Prabhupada left, and all the disciples who have been serving in separation. So there are around 40 Prabhupada disciples were invited by Juhu temple from all over the world. So they all came there, and His Holiness Radha Maharaj, taking the opportunity, called them to Radha Gopinath temple also and arranged Pushpabhishek, like that. So you might have seen that all the Prabhupada disciples are there and they are showering flower. How many of you see? A video only. Yeah, no, you have not seen. You can see it. So because they were in Jew only, to get them to Gopinath was very easy. So they were there for 2-3 days. We had attended that festival. So when one serves the instruction of the spiritual master, one will develop that mood of service in separation. So one should take the service, the instruction of the spiritual master very seriously. Then one will be able to Yasya Deve Para Bhaktir, Tatha Deve Tatha Guru, Tasyaite Katita Hyartha, Prakashante Mahatmanaha. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith both in the Supreme Lord Krishna and the spiritual master. All the imports of Vedic knowledge are automatically revealed. So the perfection of all the Vedic knowledge is this Vipralambharas, Vipralambha, feeling separation from Krishna, always longing. When will I be with you? In one sense, even that George Harrison, God knows how, but he says that in his song, "Oh my sweet Lord, when will I see you? When will I feel you? Feel, huh? I really want to see you, but it takes so long. Oh my Lord, sweet Lord," something like that. Very amazing. Huh? From where he got, Krishna knows. I don't know how he got it, but exactly the same mood we should have. It takes so long. That doesn't mean that we give up. We become more ecstatically uh, involved in our spiritual practices, like that. And we wonder how the great souls are relishing Krishna consciousness. So here these gopis, they are sending their minds with Krishna. Bodies cannot go. So much feelings of separation are there in I don't know which, in Anand Vrindavan Champu or somewhere. I think Kavi Karnapur describes when Krishna is playing in the forest with the cowherd boys and cows, with cows. So then what happens? The trees, the boys are also relishing. But then what happens? Sometimes Krishna is moving continuously. In one sense, we have seen. So some point of time he goes behind the tree. Behind the tree means he's just going. But the tree blocks the vision of this devotee, and he feels so desperate. Oh, where is Krishna gone? Where is he? He will just come now. It's like he's gone here from here. He's just there in the middle. Krishna is continuously walking. Very soon, just a matter of 1 or 2 seconds, he will be visible. But this devotee feels pangs of separation. For that, What? How many seconds? Hardly maybe 1 or 2 seconds. The tree is not a huge tree. Small trunk is there. So much. Same thing we find in the pastime of Bhadai Pandit and Padmavati also. They were so much in love with Nitai that they just could not bear a moment separation from him. There also similar description is there. If Nitai while playing would go behind a tree, whether father Bhadai Pandit Oja or mother Padmavati, they would feel so much separation. So much separation. So we can only imagine when Nitai left with that sannyasi, in one sense, for all time, never to come back, how much more they were in separation. And they left their bodies only. They gave up their eating, sleeping, because separation cannot be tolerated. Similar thing we find in the case of the Vedic ladies. They would feel so much pangs of separation from their dead husband, in case the husband died before them, that it is said the flames of the funeral pyre of the husband were more cooling than the flames of separation from the husband. That's why they would embrace the first one. Quite easy. Just embrace the cooling flames of the burning fire of the funeral pyre of the husband. They would go sati. They're so much in love with husband. Once I heard that one lady was going on sati. So British were ruling that time. So one British officer came running to. He was in that village, but he came to the place, and she already was almost preparing to get the that the funeral pyre is prepared, and husband's body is lying there. The wife will climb there. She will sit there, and husband's body will be on her lap, and then the whole fire will be set on fire. This is how they would do it. So she was about to get on there. So then this officer came and he asked, who is that lady? Then she is the one. She already without sindoor, and it's understood also. So much crying, crying, crying in separation from husband. And then he said, come on, why are you going? You know, life is very important. I understand you are going like this because you are wondering that how will you maintain yourself, because husband was the maintainer of the house, is no more. You don't worry, every month I will give you 150 rupees. I will make sure for whole of your life you don't have to feel that you will be poverty stricken and deprived and all that. I will make sure and all that. Don't take this step like that. So he has his own calculation that she will face poverty, etc. So he said, don't do that. Then she understood this fellow is what do you call novice or illiterate fool in one sense. He doesn't understand what love and all. So then she took her hand like this, and she took a what they call lamp, uh, lantern, like that. And she increased the flame or whatever, and then it started burning her skin because it was directly here, no? And this is increased. So it started burning. The skin was melting, and the bone was visible. And the officer was wondering, what is this? How can she do that? And there was absolutely no fear, or you can imagine how much it must be, a skin melting and burning and bone now, all that. So then he understood this lady is not on some mundane platform which I am at, like that. So he spoke nothing, and then she just climbed on the funeral pyre. She took husband's head on her lap, and then the relatives set it on fire, and she was completely silent. No crying, no shouting, none of those. And the officer kept looking on me. So this is the feelings of separation. So can you imagine? Hope some lifetime, or maybe in this life, sometime, hopefully some lifetime, or in this life, sometime, we'll experience this separation from the divine couple, Radha Krishna, maybe from our Guru. We can experience this, but when we render service, then in one sense we can forget the pangs of separation, and then some other time we can still relish it also. Yeah, not mundane, so much mundane. The husbands also would be very devoted to the Lord. That's how the wives would have so much love for husband. Eventually the husbands were not so great, and then the wives were told, come on, you have to, how can you not go sati? This is the tradition, kind of, and the in-laws started pushing the daughter-in-law, etc. So it became a murder only, gruesome murder. That's why eventually some people had rebel and all that, and they stopped it. And it's worth stopping because that was murder only, because the wife did not feel like jumping in the fire. But in earlier times, that's what that lady showed. Don't think that I am just embracing death because I'm worried about my poverty stricken forthcoming life. I love my husband. So they would love their husband. Then only they would do voluntarily. Otherwise, who will do? They would be very chaste. Even this is what they call when Maharana Pratap was there, and before him, I think Padmavati, Queen Padmavati, when the Muslims attacked and they killed the rulers, etc., they would come inside to pollute all the women. So the women, the Rajasthani women, the queens, and all of them, they would jump in the huge fire. They would have a kind of a hole, this rectangular kind of, and it would be set on fire, and all these queens, she Padmavati queen jumped with 3000 and 3000 ladies also simultaneously, and, and they would be ready whenever the fight is going on, because if our side loses, we have to immediately jump because these moguls will come and they will pollute us. We don't want to be touched by these people. So that kind of chastity we learn from gopis only. Gopis have that chastity. This is a very big subject matter. But in one sense, that is how it is. Love means this chastity. And gopis have it to the supreme degree. They are the most chaste ladies, and they are most renounced also. That's why our acharyas have quoted them as the example. And all the sannyasis who are in the renounced order, they get inspiration from gopis. Why? Because you can imagine 12 o'clock in the midnight, Krishna plays on flute, and they all left their worldly ties, family, relations, and so many duties. Sarva dharman parityajya Krishnam ekam sharanam vraja. So they went there midnight. It is said that you might have read that. Earlier there was some moonlight coming, but eventually as they entered deeper and deeper, there was some part where there is absolutely no moonlight touching the ground, completely pitch dark like that. So sometimes in the night, if you are coming from station going to Gunja, I have done that many times coming back Konark actually. Sometimes we are scared because the road is lonely. One car passes by. Sometimes some lone person is there. What will happen? I am alone with bag. What will happen? We are in the male body, and that too some cars are there and street lights are there. Still we are scared. Here they are ladies' bodies, and in the deep forest there is no moonlight reaching. Forget about street light and all that. Such daring, such love for Krishna. This is what is our cherished aspiration. So following Vrajagopi's footsteps, our goal in life. Tarakiya bhave jaha prajete prachar. Krishna is their only lover. Anyway, the gopis are very deep subject matter. But because they are only in focus, limelight, they are only singing all this. So it's worth discussing about gopis. Okay. Second verse, second and third together. Now two verses will be together only. So 2 to 25, these are 12 pairs of verses called Yugala Gita. There you want to read? You may read. We will complete also syllabus hopefully. How big it is? Here it is quite big. Now if we read, other two are there, no? Sanatana Goswami is there and Jiva Goswami, both are there. And have they commented in short or? Yes, for your pleasure.
Jiva Goswami, Hare Krishna. Whenever Sukdev Goswami said, whenever Krishna went to the forest, the minds of gopis would run after him, and thus the young girls sadly spent their days singing of his pastimes. The gopis who delighted in Krishna during the night with the rasa pastime would be overcome with great sorrow during the day.
This we all read in one sense.
Parasar said Krishna is portrayed with gopis in such a way that during the day a moment felt like millions of years in his absence.
That also he says, what is that? Fifth verse. Or the sixth one, no? Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrushayitam chunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. In your separation, I am feeling one moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing constantly like tears, like torrential rain. And I am feeling all vacant in this world in your absence. Similarly, the fifth also, what is that? Ainandatanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddho कृपया तव पादपङ्कजस्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तय this one. I Nandatanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam. So these are all gopis feelings only. Eighth one is directly by Radharani only. Ashrishya Padaratam. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Here you will get a lot in one sense. So second and third. Shri Gopya Uchuhu Vamabahu Krita Vamakapolo Valgita Bhurdhararpitam Venum कोमलाङ्गूलिभीर् आश्रितमार्गम् गोप्य इरयति यत्र मुकुन्दः यो मयान्न वनितः सह सिद्धैर्विस्मितास्तद् उपधार्य सलज्जः काममार्गण समर्पितचित्तः कश्मलं ययुरपस्मृत निव्यः. The gopis said, when Mukunda vibrates the flute he has placed to his lips, stopping its holes with his tender fingers, he rests his left cheek on his left arm and makes his eyebrows dance. At that time, the demigoddesses traveling in the sky with their husbands, the Siddhas, become amazed. As those ladies listen, they are embarrassed to find their minds yielding to the pursuit of lusty desires, and in their distress they are unaware that the belts of their garments are loosening. Prabhupada disciples write in the purport. Srila Jiva Goswami states that this chapter consists of a collection of statements of the gopis made at various times as they stood in small groups here and there in Vrindavan. So these are all not like all one time. Even that Shikshashtakam verses also, they are not all at once Mahaprabhu recited like we recite here every morning. So different times he recited and Vrindavan Goswami noted them down. And we have them in the form of Shikshashtak verses. So here Vishwanath Thakur in commentary writes, while herding the cows in the Vrindavan forest, Krishna played his flute to announce his arrival and to console the trees, creepers, birds, and beasts suffering in separation from him. The gopis, overwhelmed in waves of ecstasy from hearing that flute sound, spoke to their friends in 12 pairs of verses. So Krishna knows everybody feels separation. Even the trees also, when Krishna is leaving for forest, trees feel, oh, how fortunate are these boys and animals. They have legs, so they are going with him. We fellows, we are what is that? Cursed to be in one place only. We cannot move. So this is last till Krishna becomes kind of disappears. He will be there, but somehow over a period of time, he will go in the dense forest and he will be no more visible. So then that tree feels, oh. So all trees, birds, beasts, creatures, everybody feels separation from Krishna in Vrindavan. They are not ordinary souls. They are very special. Our Goswamis have included them also. Pujata kokila hamsa sara sagana kirne mayura kule nana ratna nibadha mula vitapa Shri Yukta Vrindavane. What is the next line? Radha Krishna Aharnisham Prabhajato. Is that the fifth line? That is the third line. Jivatha Harnisham Prabhajato Jivarthadavyo Muda Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghu Yoga Shri Jiva Gopalaka. You could read the meaning? Take the mic. How the birds
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who were always engaged in worshipping Radha Krishna in the transcendental land of Vrindavan, where there are beautiful trees full of fruits and flowers, which have under their roots all valuable jewels. The Goswamis are perfectly competent to bestow upon the living entities the greatest boon of the goal of life.
somehow in this translation that birds are not mentioned. No? Somehow, I don't know why they like, but whatever. But Kuja the Kokila, Hamsa Sarasagan, all varieties of birds, Kokila, the cuckoo, Hamsa, the swans, Mayuras, Akirne, Mayura Kule, the peacocks in their groups, their Akirne, they are producing their, what sound they call? Kekong, they have that sound. Keyura, very beautiful sound. So Vrindavan is filled with such amazing devotees of the Lord in different species apparently, but they are all in love with Krishna. So very special. So next he says Krishna rested his left cheek on his left shoulder in order to play the gamakas, vibrato, in the ascending and descending modes of the ragas. So gamaka is that ascending and descending raga. So they have, no? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So anyway, Krishna, we cannot compare only, we cannot even understand. Krishna is the master of music. From him only entire music comes. From the fifth note that he plays on his flute only comes all the Vedas. They enter in the ears of Brahma and when they come out, they come as Gayatri Mantra, Om, and all the scriptures come out. That is nothing but Krishna's flute sound. So it's a love letter, a love song on the flute for gopis as well as all the jivas in the form of scriptures. Krishna is calling us back. Come, my dear son, why are you loitering and rotting in this material world? Come back to me. So each one, each verse for that matter, every word is calling us only back to Golok Vrindavan. So Krishna was playing like this, very artistic. Our devotees in ISKCON have drawn also very nice paintings of Krishna. We all have seen how beautiful Krishna stands threefold bending form. So very artistic. All these poses people give for their selfies and all film stars and all foolishly. This is nothing but perverted reflection of Krishna's standing postures. Like these fellows also try to imitate, but they are no match with Krishna. And they are mundane beings, here today, gone tomorrow. But Krishna is eternally present, and his fame is for all time sung all over the creation. He says that Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marute Stunvanti Divyai Vede Sanga Padakrama Upanishadair Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyanavastita Tadgate Namanasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Navidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. 12th canto, 13th chapter, first verse. So he's saying that how all the great personalities, Shiva, Brahma, Rudra, Varuna, Indra, Maruta, they're all glorifying Krishna. Kunvanti Divyastave, in Divyastav, Divyastuti. In our schools, you might have experience, no? They have that, what they call, when not assembly, some function is there, they have that, some girls will come and they will sing. What is it called? Divyastavan, they will do something. Something they sing. You did not have that in your school? Yeah, something like that. But many times it is not so glorious. But here Brahma, Indra, Varuna, Rudra, etc., they are glorifying Krishna in great thing. And then Vede, Sangha, Pada, Krama, Upanishad, all these different things in Vedas, Upanishads, they are also glorifying Krishna. Then Dhana Vastita Tadgatena Manasa. When yogis sit in their meditation, they are also meditating on Krishna only in the heart. Yasyantam na vidu sura asuragana. There Krishna's beginning and end is not known even to suras, asuras. To such a Lord I meditate upon. So Krishna is amazing. At that time Krishna placed his right shank over his left shank to assume a charming threefold bending form, which enchanted the three worlds. So that It would have been nice to have some pictures, but anyway, we are not prepared that way. But we all know how Krishna stands. Left, right shank means this portion, front portion, from knees to ankle. So his right shank is over his left shank to assume a charming threefold bending form. Venum Kwanantamaravinda Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandarpakotikamaniya Visheshashobham Govindamadipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. So this verse also says he's playing on his Venu and very charming way. Venum Kwanantamaravinda Dalayataksam. His eyes are like lotus petals. Barahavatam, his head turban is decorated with peacock feather. Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasungdarangam. All his limbs are like of the color of Ambuda, the cloud in the monsoon season. Then what is the next? Venum Konantam Aravinda Dalayaksham Barahavatam Samasitam Buddhasundarangam Kandarpa Koti Gamaniya Visheshishopam. Koti crores of Kandarpas, they get charmed. Kandarpa Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham. Kamaniya is charming, a charming beauty. Once one Cupid came to mesmerize Krishna in Madanter near our Krishna Balram temple. At that time, Krishna Balram temple was not manifest, but 5000 years back. So he came to delude Krishna the way he tries with all living entities. So he took his bow is made up of sugar cane sticks. And then arrows are there in his quiver. How many arrows? 5 arrows. Their names are also there. Anybody knows? Something like that. So first arrow, that's why you must have seen a dil. A dil they show, and how many arrows you see inside? Only one. Why? The other 4 are not required only. One arrow only, the person is dead. With the first arrow of the Cupid, Kamdev, sex god, Kandarpa, the living entity is dead. So he doesn't need to take out second arrow. But for Krishna, he took the first arrow anyway, and he has to aim, no? He has to shoot it at Krishna's heart. So for looking at Krishna, he looked at Krishna's face, moon-like face. So by seeing the charming beauty of Krishna's moon-like face, the Kandarpa fell down unconscious on the ground only. So that Madan Tear is there. So Madan Dher ho gaya wo. Madan became Dher. That is Madan Tear. That is near our Krishna Balram temple. So Krishna's beauty is Tear means calling. So that is not known. बट वो ढेर हो गया उधर मदन ढेर नहीं है मदन टेर ही है लेकिन वो ढेर हो गया उधर. So Krishna's beauty is so amazing, and our acharyas have explained in so many places. Bhagavatam also gives, especially 10th canto, is his face also. So entire beauty of Krishna is manifest over here. Krishna tilted his neck. We may develop spondylitis by this, but Krishna has no problem. Krishna tilted his neck, rested the flute on his lower lip, and made his eyebrows dance to attract the attention of Subala and others to the skillfulness of his songs. What type of flute was it? It was equipped with 7 holes which were covered by Krishna's fingers. So Krishna has different types of flutes. It is not just one. Murli, Venu, Bamshi, like that some 3-4 types are there, and they are all described in the Nectar of Devotion, second part, I believe. So how much is the length of that flute? How many holes in it? Depending on, it is called as Venu, Murli, Bamsi, or whatever the name. So all the details. It is not like, Kabhi bol diya Venu Vadak, Kabhi bol diya Murli Vadan. It is not like that. It is all very, very specific. It's not a random description. So it's not a random description. What type of flute was it? It was equipped with 7 holes which were covered by Krishna's fingers. Because Krishna never worked, his lotus petal-like fingers were softer than those of other men, but they were somewhat harder than his other limbs. So those who don't work, their fingers will be softer. Those who work, you can see by working. If you play mridanga and all, this portion of this thing will become harder. The skin will become hard. But Krishna is very soft. But compared to other limbs, they were slightly harder. The wives of the Siddhas flying in the sky, though accompanied by their husbands, became astonished upon hearing the sound of the flute. We have never heard such enchanting flute playing before, which totally bewilders us, even though we are chaste ladies. Their husbands thought, even though we are men, this flute bewilders us too, and makes us assume the mentality of women. So now, this you hear attentively what all the men and women thoughts are. The men also are getting attracted to Krishna like women. So they have assumed the mentality of women. The celestial women became embarrassed in the presence of their husbands and thought, our husbands, seeing our agitation, will have doubts about us. The husbands, on the other hand, became embarrassed, thinking, having given up our male identity and adopted female identities, our wives will have doubts about us. You understand? So each one is thinking about how women are thinking that our agitation will be detected by our husband, and husband was thinking that we were assuming female identities will be doubted by our wives. क्या हो गया ये फीमेल जैसा क्यों कर रहा है ना? The celestial ladies and their husbands, the Siddhas, then succumbed to the arrows of lust, both male, female, both. Seeing the arrows of love for Krishna approaching quickly, the wives said, O arrows of love for Krishna, quickly pierce these hearts which have been offered to you. Let us give up our faithfulness to our husbands and let Krishna enjoy with us. The husband said, as we have given up our manhood and our status as demigods, immediately turn us into gopis and enjoy with us. They have also such feeling. Gopi Bhav Club, GBC. So at once Gopi Bhav Club was started and they got registered also, and they're registering kind of, got registered almost. Both the women and their husbands became stunned due to the torment of the arrows of lust. The same feelings appeared in both parties at once. Therefore, the women's belts became loosened without their knowing, and the men's clothes and hair became loose without their knowing. Theirs also, their clothes also have become loose because they have accepted they kind of got merged in that womanly feeling. So their clothes also became loose. Thus the gopis imply, if the demigoddesses and even the demigods reach such an unprecedented state, then why are we, who are human beings and moreover cowherd girls, living with Krishna in the same village and who have already had his intimate association, standing here without his company? They also have made much better fortune than we do. So why are we deprived of his association? Therefore, my dear Sakhis, even while our husbands and relatives watch and scold us, let us enter the forest of Vrindavan and enjoy with the beloved of our lives. This is the implication at the end of each pair of verses. So their implication is this only, that let us go to enter in forest only. Enough. Who cares? Why to worry about all our husbands and relatives? Just give up all the worldly ties, enter in forest and give enjoyment to Krishna. This is their mood everywhere. Sometimes spoken, not spoken, but it is implied all the time. Hmm. Who? Gopis, yeah.
Is it
Yes, they are not able to
nothing
see
commented about like
whether they were
there
seeing
was,
the.
there is one chapter earlier, I think 20 or 21,
Hmm.
Venugit,
Hmm.
where it's told they go into deep samadhi and they describe. But here it is not described like that.
They are at in the village only. In the night, they must have seen the demigods and demigoddesses in the Ras Leela. Yeah? No, this is daytime, but night time they are enjoying Ras Leela with Krishna. Could we have 5 minutes break, or at least 2 3 minutes? Hare Krishna. Fourth and fifth. Any question on this? This is daytime only when they are feeling separation. Night time they are having his association, but still Yuga itam nimishena, na? Every moment is like 12 years or more. And they are the perfection of feelings of separation.
Why the here feeling of a gopis or a woman is always considered like a lust for a Krishna? I understand, like sometimes Acharya says that there is no other word in Sanskrit to explain to material people. But one thing is there, when we are explaining so much about the spiritual world or the people who are playing the part-time pastime here, so why? So what is that attraction? That's why I'm questioning here. The same attraction drawn towards Krishna is called here for a woman. It is called lust, or it is the same thing in there in spiritual world.
It is very pure. It is for in lust what one is concerned about the pleasure of his own senses.
No, that is okay. But again, the word why it is used here again lust. They should put the word love, no?
Love will not understand. Will then say we also love our this thing.
No, when it comes to Gopa's friend loving Krishna, so there it is not put the word lust. When Gopas are
But
loving
that is
Krishna.
not between the man and woman. No? It is
So
man and man. Sporting license.
no, it's a love only. It's a condensed love now. That is a condensed love. So why? Because it is a confusing. Because now these siddhas, they and their wife, they are feeling material attraction for Krishna. Like Kubja was feeling material attraction for Krishna. So they are clearly mentioned. Prabhupada mentions the neophyte devotee should not feel like that for a bodily pleasure. Now they are also feeling bodily pleasure towards Krishna. The siddhas
That
and their
is not the way it is described. The gopis are saying because basically they have attraction for Krishna, so they are glorifying them. Everywhere the other party is glorified by gopis. The gopis are their love for Krishna is unsurpassable. Nobody comes anywhere closer also. But that is how the nature of love is. One feels he has more love for the Lord, for my beloved, than I do. So that's why they impose. Here, the demigods and demigoddesses don't have that much love as much as as much as gopis are describing. But gopis are feeling that way. That's how they are glorifying Govardhan also, na? Antaya Madhurabala, Haridasavaryo. So Haridasavarya, who are the topmost devotees in one sense? Gopis only, na? But they say he is the one. They will feel like that naturally. Yes.
So, Prabhu, here,
1 minute,
and I think past unit, in the past unit also, in the previous, one of the previous units, so there is a description about who come as gopis, and then these uh, daughters of devatas who have even a slight bit of lust, they were not selected, it is said.
Hmm.
And those who had pure affection for Krishna, only they came.
Hmm.
So then, here, as he's asking, here that lusty desire, again, it's a little confusing how to understand and reconcile both.
No, we should know
The same
that
question, extension of that question.
Nitya Siddha gopis only, Nitya gopis like Ashtasakis, etc. They are all always pure, whether it is daytime, night time. And we are not discussing about others.
One like that was Ration was telling.
He's not asking about. He's talking about that Rushicari gopis and others.
Yes, Prabhu. There very clearly it's given that even slightest, yeah, Rishichari and then the Devakanyas,
Shrutichari.
Devakanyas, Shrutichari and Devakanyas, especially in the Devakanyas, those who had even slight bit of lust, they were not selected to come down as gopis. Whereas here, freely that lusty desires is being used, and that's the confusion I think even Arjun Ishwar Prabhu is asking, and I'm also having that same question.
He's asking about demigoddesses. Are you asking about demigoddesses or gopis?
Gopis only. See, demigoddesses
Not asking about
who
demigoddesses.
are not demigoddesses, but the daughters of demigods or devatas, uh, there were two parts. One had some lusty feeling for Krishna. They were not selected to be gopis, and then there were other devakanyas who did not have even a slightest hint of lust, and they became gopis. They came down as gopis.
Have you heard like that, Bhagavata Prabhu? Because, but if they did not come only here as gopis, so then why are they mentioned only? They are not gopis only, na? Devakanyas who were whatever impure. All those who are
Devakanyas
mentioned, they
were,
are all come here, na? Some are pure,
yes,
so they are not allowed.
yes,
Those who are pure, they are
correct,
allowed. And these pure,
correct,
impure
correct.
ones will become pure eventually. They are getting
Eventually,
trained
that is,
by other pure gopis.
yes, that is very much understood. But when it says minds yielding to the pursuit of lusty desires,
Speak, na?
now that gets confusing that the gopis have lusty desires.
We should always know that this Nitya,
Initially,
we should not impose it. Do we want to say all this Lalita, Vishaka, and they are all lusty gopis? We don't want to say that. They are all pure Nitya Siddha associates of the Lord. They are expansions of Srimati Radharani only. Radharani only has three expansions. The first one is these gopis, millions of gopis in Vrindavan. And then secondary are the Vayus of Krishna, 16,108. And then Vaikuntha Lakshmis, Vaikuntha Lakshmis also. They are expansions of Radharani. So we don't impose on them such impurity.
yes, 100%. That's everyone's understanding. But again and again, as those ladies listen in 2:3 translation 2:3, as those ladies listen, they are embarrassed to find their minds yielding to pursuit of lusty desires, and in their distress, they are unaware that their belts of their garments are loosening. So such
They are not
words.
gopis, they are demigoddesses.
Oh, they are
Their husbands.
they are
They are not
demigoddesses.
gopis at
Okay,
all.
okay, okay, okay.
Why to bring them to? They have nothing to do with the gopis. They are witnessing, they are attracted to Krishna.
Because
So that
Prabhuji,
was,
there are three types of gopis, no?
huh?
One is that there are three types of gopis. Nitya Siddha gopis who are eternally perfect. And Shrutichari gopis, they are special type of gopis. And then Rishichari gopis are coming from the sages of Dandakaranya. So they have taken darshan of Prabhu Ramchandra. So how come they have lusty desire? They won't have. If you're talking about Rishichari gopis.
No, I am not talking about Rishichari gopis having lust. But there is some, acharyas have told, that who were not mature in a sense. So they were, some of them were young also in age. So they were not in one sense supposed to be there. So they were trained by other gopis, and over a period of time, eventually they became qualified. Unripe mango and ripe mango. So like that, our acharyas have explained. I'm not saying that Rishichari gopis are lusty gopis and all that. That specifically, do you know? Have you heard? Which are the ones who were stopped? Is it mentioned? Which category gopis?
Actually, Prabhupada mentions at one place like some demigoddess, they were pure. So there he mentions like that the mother of Indra. So
Aditi.
Aditi, he mentions not as a gopi, she was a pure, but when the demigods they come and participate in Lord's pastime, those who are pure, they are allowed for rasa dance. Those who are not pure, not pure, they were not allowed.
Demigods, huh?
Demigoddesses.
Devkanya.
Acha. I don't remember now. In case you remember, you only tell the answer. Whosoever knows, you can tell the answer. You know, give him, he will. Final concluding answer. Or you read, okay. Speak in the mic so that others online can hear. Please speak in the mic. They want to hear, no, online. Otherwise, they feel some silence is going on.
So there are in the chapter 29, verse number 9, there is detailed account of types of gopis. So in this one of the purports, it's paragraphs, it's told by associating with the eternally perfect gopis, some of these new gopis fully manifested Purvaraga loving attraction for Krishna as soon as they reached puberty. So the first time, I remember that time Abhishantara discussed the first Rasalila, they could not enter. Afterwards, they after associating with them, then later they could enter.
Yeah, so that Purvarag is that loving feeling for Krishna. That is, in one sense, these girls who have not reached puberty, what they will, in one sense, according to mundane calculation also, the girls who have not reached puberty, for them love and all is like unknown in one sense.
So Devakanya gopis also could enter.
They are trained by the other gopis, no, Nitya Siddha gopis. So then eventually they will be qualified.
Here the question is that Devata Striya, they are not gopis.
Those who are in the
Can I
outer
ask one
world, they are
question?
not gopis.
So are they?
Prabhuji, can I raise one question?
1 minute, he is speaking, Mataji. Let
Is
him
it
complete.
implying that they are entering?
No. See, that is the nature of the love. No? One will always feel others have more love for our beloved than we do. So these demigods and demigoddesses, they have more love for Krishna and all that. And they are fortunate. Here the point is they are fortunate to witness Krishna's pastime, and we are unfortunate. So why should we remain here? Let us go and join Krishna in the forest. That is the implication every time.
Not that they could enter the
No.
association.
And they are just having some attraction. Some attraction must have been there, but the gopis will always feel they have more attraction, and they are more fortunate than we do.
Why one shloka has got that Gopya Kamat Bhayat Kansat Vesha Chedo Doyandrupa? Why the Gopya Kamat, how it is given Kamat?
Then we get a full understanding now what calm is. We have experience of calm. So then we understand. But that is not the kind of calm. Our kind of calm is not what they have. Theirs is pure love. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say na, Ramya Kachita Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita. The best worship of Krishna is the way Vraja Gopis did. So there is no comparison. This is a pure love. But when the word kama is used, then we can get understanding. Intensity can be understood. Gopis are compared they are considered to be the greatest vairagis in the creation. Because vairag, it comes from in two ways. There is no material attachment, virag, and other is Vishishta Rupena rag. They had such infatuation, such attraction to Krishna. So that's why they are the greatest vairagis in the creation. So we should remove any misunderstanding, all misunderstanding about gopis. We have to know purest of the pure are the gopis. Nobody.
Yeah, so 7.131, Prabhu, 7.131 purport.
That's what Mataji said.
I think no explains it. So the purport explains their desires appeared lusty, but actually they were not the lusty desires of the material world. Chaitanya Charitam compares desires of the spiritual and material to gold and iron.
Yeah, correct. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna Kaviraj Goswami gives, when he tells this Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tari Bolikam, Krishnendriya Priti Ichha Dhare Premanan. So just little later he says that their love for Krishna was like gold, and our so-called infatuation, lust in this world is like iron. Both are metals only, but there is a gulf of difference between iron and gold. Gold is gold only, and iron is iron. So there is no comparison between the two. But both are metals.
So instead of kama, prema could have
about
been
gopis from our mind. Then only our
Same
mind
here,
will be
Prabhuji. The word that shouldn't have been used. That is what I felt.
So prema instead of kama. So
that is for us fellows. We are lusty fellows. We can understand infatuation.
uh,
You have some our that Chintamani Shivram Maharaj, something from there. Okay, give him the
Krishna
mic.
Prema Bhayat
Wait a
Kamso.
minute. Now hear the version of verdict of our Bhagavad Gita Prabhu.
Hari Prasad was saying in class, many times this word karma is used, like this quotation somewhere in reference. Wherever the word karma used, one should understand that that is prema. Is mentioned as karma.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj had explained once that karma in the material world is entirely perverted reflection. It is not at all same as the spiritual world's karma.
Correct. Similarly, one more thing. What was that? Just now it came in my mind. Prajalpa is said, na? So Prajalpa is our bhakti vinashyati. Atyahara prayasasya prajalpo niyamagraha. Jana sangasya laulyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinashyati. One of the deadly things, one of the 6 deadly things is Prajalpa. But for gopis do Prajalpa. All that Sanjalpa, Pratijalpa, Jalpa, Anujalpa, and all 10 varieties of Jalpas are there. In that one is Prajalpa also. Perfection of life is to do Prajalpa about Krishna only. Speak about Krishna only continuously non-stop throughout life. So, but when it comes to us, Prajalpa is like when a devotee he is doing Prajalpa. That means he is being criticized. His fellow is wasting his time and others' time. But gopis also are doing Prajalpa only, but that is very pure. And we wish to do Prajalpa like that. Some lifetime in this, or in this life we'll do sometime. Isn't it? So we have to understand sometimes words may be, just sir, Vairagya also we said, na? Vairagya itself has two, in one sense, opposite meaning. Viraga, without any attachment. That means without any material attachment. And Vishishta Rupena Raga means so much attachment. And that Vairagis are Radha, that gopis, they are the best Vairagis in the creation. That's why all those who are in renounced order of life, Vairagis, sannyasis, they can have these gopis as their ideals. Then only they can go on with their Vairaga. Otherwise, they won't be able to. They will fall apart.
So in Sanskrit, we can say depending on the subject, the verb changes its meaning.
Depending on the subject.
The
Prabhuji,
words.
can
That's why we need Acharya's help. Na? When Acharyas we hear from, then only we become.
one more explanation by Sarvabhaum Prabhu in his Ramayana lecture, that in Dandakaranya, the Rishis, when they were coming across Prabhu Ramachandra, they said that, see, we cannot reciprocate with you continuously. So he said, in my next birth in Treta Yuga, when I'll be Krishna, you become gopis. So that is what is explained by Sarvabhaum Prabhu once.
No, that is true only. They were attracted to Lord Ram in that conjugal love. But he said, in this life, in this incarnation, I have Ekapatni Vrat. I cannot marry anyone. So don't worry, next time I will come as Krishna. That time I will be accepting all the women of the creation. That time you will be able to unite with me. So that is true. They are called as Rushichari. These are the Rishis who became Rushichari Gopis in the next life. Should we move ahead? If you all are satisfied and you all accept that gopis are the purest of the pure, still you doubt gopis. You do doubt gopis, you cannot chant Hare Krishna. You will sleep in japa or your mind will wander like anything. And your lust will also increase. I'm not cursing, I'm just telling the facts. Yeah, Malina Haile Man Nahi Krishna Rasmaran. And this is what he said, na. That's why after telling all the Rasa Panchadhyaya, last 5th chapter, last sloka, what is saying? Vikriditam Rajavadhu Biridam Chavishno Shraddhan Vito Anushranayad Athavarnayedya Bhaktim Param Bhagavati Pratilabhya Kamam Rudrogamashu Apahinoti Achirena Dhira. Shukdev Goswami is blessing also in one sense, but he is clarifying also. Vikriditam Rajavadhu Idam Cha Vishnu. Why is using Vishnu? Because Krishna is the source of Vishnu also. And when we understand Vishnu, then we become reverent. Like our Radha Krishna deities are also to be worshipped in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan, means with awe and reverence. So we have to understand Radha Krishna or Krishna's relationship with the young cowherd girls. It's not some mundane relationship of boy and girls like we have on that what they call Navaratri nights. That is very very grass, perverted, dirty, perverted reflection of Ras Leela of Krishna. And afterwards, then the so many girls become pregnant and so many abortions, all crazy things happen. But that is not like that. That is pure. No gopi became pregnant, and their material bodies were lying, so to say, with their husbands. The souls were dancing in their spiritual body. So he says, Vikriditam Rajavaduvi Ridam Cha Vishnu Shraddhanvito Anushranayat Atvarnayadya. One who hears with faith and also describes in Parampara. Bhaktim Param Bhagavati, he achieves Param Bhakti, supreme devotion. Pratilabhya Kamam, and the calm, the Rudrog, the heart's disease, lust. Ashu Apahinoti Achirena Dhira. Very quickly it is destroyed. And again his Achirena also is saying, very quickly he will become Dhira. So when we know Krishna's pastime with gopis to be purest of the pure, then we become very great Dhiras. And the Dhiras are the sannyasis basically. Pure devotees in one sense is quite ahead. But sannyasi has to be at least in the mode of goodness, Nishtha platform. Anathas have to be removed, and he has to be minimum in Nishtha platform. He cannot be in Anatha Nivritti stage, otherwise he will collapse, he will fall down, he will become lusty. Sannyasi has to be in Nishtha stage, that means he has to be a Dhira. Dhirastatrana Muhyati. He is not bewildered in this world. So such a Dhira one becomes if one hears Krishna's pure pastimes with the gopis. So is that okay? Or still we are doubting gopis? All those who doubt gopis, raise your hands.
Prabhu, when only one last question, Prabhu. This is like
Hmm.
an explicit example. So when the semen of Lord Shiva falls down when he sees Mohini,
What is the
I mean that is as far as lust can be. I mean that can be seen. But I mean he is not affected. But Mohini is that beautiful that Shiva could leave his semen. I mean, how far different is lust as we understand it?
that is Shiva himself is glorifying the Lord. No, Lord, only you can attract me. Otherwise, ordinarily nobody can attract me. Mundane woman cannot attract me. You are so amazing. You attract me also, like Atma. That
No, see, because Shiva also entered the Raslila. Shiva also fell for the lusty desires with the Lord. So then, uh, how do we understand? I mean,
he took
is
bath
it
in
that
which one? This that one Bihari, huh? Kusum Sarovar, na?
uh,
He took in Mansarovar, I think. Mansarovar, he took bath and he came out. So he had pure feeling, Gopi Bhav. So he became Gopi, but his snakes were impure only. So they remained as it is. So that's why when he came to Rasalera area, wrestling, but Raslila, then Gopis thought, Arey, what kind of Gopi is this with all the snakes? So they thought, better let him protect. So he did not participate actively. He became guard at the Ras Leela area. And that you can see in Vamshi, but now also is there at the entrance point. But he's pure devotee only.
yes?
Answer for this is Prabhuji. In one of the lecture, Prabhuji had explained.
Mataji is speaking. Mataji, what are you
Prabhuji,
speaking?
Prabhuji, in one of the lectures of Vedanta only, I don't remember the name of that Prabhuji, he had explained that Lord himself had told Shivji that you take this responsibility of becoming Gopi there.
Responsibility means what?
Yeah, he only had told that you only can become like that. That
I
is
don't
what
know
just
Mataji
now
that
you
past
said,
time
Prabhuji.
what responsibility he had to take care. But because he was very eager to participate in Rastila, he was told go in Mansarovar, take bath and come. So he took bath and he became Gopi. But the snakes did not, they did not have that mood. They were envious in one sense. So they came, so this Gopi in the lady, Shiva, all has all the snakes. Gopis felt he can't be better guarding. So he was guarding only. He did not ask to be
Internally,
Gopi. Gopis gave him the responsibility of guarding the Ras Leela arena. That's what we know. I don't know which other responsibility Lord Krishna gave to Shiva. I'm not aware of that.
Prabhu, very risky statement, very risky statement. I'm just daring to say. So, if basically Lord Shiva gives into lust by looking at Mohini, then how come if gopis also fall, they are, Shiva is equivalent to the gopis, and so does
Shiva
that
is not
mean lust
equivalent to
is
gopis at
okay
all.
for the gopis?
Huh? Shiva is not at all equivalent to gopis. In the material world, among the devotees, he is considered greatest. Vaishnavana Meta Shambhu. But in all the material and spiritual, all combinedly, gopis are the topmost devotees. No comparison to gopis.
Hmm. Because he is the only one outside of the gopis who could enter the rasa dance, and even
And Narada
Lakshmi
is
could
also
not
there.
enter.
Narada Gopi is there.
Yes. But
Demigods are
Lakshmi
also
also
watching
could
from
not
the
enter.
top. They are playing drum. The elaborate description, Gandhardhar singing, Apsara dancing. That is in the outer sphere. And down below here, Krishna is with the gopis. Is it? Are you pacified or?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead, but
Arjuna is so yes, he is pacified. He is able to communicate with Paramatma in your heart. Because Paramatma in
yes,
his heart
yes,
is saying
Prabhu.
that time is getting.
Running fast, yes, Prabhu. Very
Yeah,
well.
time is finished, he's saying 4 o'clock. We had convinced devotees up to 2 to 4. Earlier 2 to 4:30, but they agreed for only 2 to 4. Our time is over. Okay. They will go to watch the drama. Yes, yes. No, we are not obstructing. We are ending here now. Okay. Now, what is now? Even if syllabus is not covered, no problem. But devotees' question should be, at least we should try to answer. Whether we are successfully able to answer or not, that is another thing. But they feel okay, chalo. Syllabus nahi hua, no problem. But my questions were taken into account, and the fellow tried to answer. No problem, isn't it? Anyway, we are opening to everyone. Those who know answer, they can give. It's not like only I have to give answer, but we have to know solid answers in a sense. What we have heard should not speculate. Okay, so we end here. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktarunda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So tomorrow we'll have
10:45. Yeah. So tomorrow class timing will be 10:45 onwards. Morning.
yes. So tomorrow morning beginning, you tell that. Okay. Tell the shloka also Sanskrit. No, you only remember and you only speak it in the mic. Sambandha Rupa and Kama Rupa. Sambandhanuga and Kamanuga. Which chapter? 16. What? Original. Okay, the chapter is not there. Original. Only verses after verses.